Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be having a go with this Lanoguard rust anti-corrosive and lubricant. It's basically, I've seen it all over the internet saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's going to get rid of rust, stop rust from forming, and it seeps into all the nooks and crannies, and hopefully it should work on the Celica, because there's quite a bit of rust under there. You may have seen in previous videos there's quite a little bit of rust coming through, so I'm going to give it a go on that. But I've just been doing the exhaust on the Nissan. There's a few little bits of areas of surface rust, so first of all I'm going to whack it on there, I think. I got this from the Lanoguard website. It's just a top-up pot, this. It's like 500ml, I think it is. It comes with a little squeegee applicator, and I think including postage it was £27. So not the cheapest, but hopefully it'll be the best. It's probably cheaper to buy it in bulk and buy a whole car kit. But I'm just going to give this a go first on the Nissan, and hopefully it should get rid of the surface rust, or at least stop it from getting any worse. Right, so here we are under the Nissan. As you can see, it's pretty clean. It's just got a few little areas that need attention. I'm just doing the exhaust now. You may have seen on the previous video where I've basically welded a V-clamp on here, just basically alleviate a leak. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. You might find it interesting. So it's all pretty clean, except I've got a little bit of surface rust coming in the aperture here on the suspension mount, and a little bit on this chassis leg here, so I'm going to spray that. So I'm also going to spray a little bit on this aluminium steering box just here, see if I can keep that corrosion base. I did paint it black, which is basically just over the years the damp's just taking it away. Just generally just have a good spray around and see what it does. Something on the rear engine mount there that's rusty, so just give it that open. Right, that's on. It's actually made, I believe, from sheep. Not from sheep, but from sheep fur or sheep wool. The lanolin in the if it stays like that, that'd be lovely. Look at that, nice and shiny. You can put it on rubbers as well, I've been told, so whack a bit on the old drive shaft rubbers in there. I've been told a lot goes a long way, so that's why I thought I'd just try the little 500ml top-up pot first. Spray a bit on there. It does smell like the countryside and like sheep. Well, up to now, see, it's supposed to seep in, and it dries over time. Just leave it 24 hours. So I'm still doing the exhaust, so I think I'll probably, I'll have a wipe around all the little bits and pieces that are dripping onto the floor. I'm just going to try the little areas. There's some little corrosion. I might even just wipe it over. You can get a grease as well. You can put over some areas as well which are more prone to rust. So I may even get a pot of that. But if it stays shiny, I quite like shiny stuff. And I believe you can power wash it as well. So we shall see. Okay. What I'll do now is we'll get the Celica up in the air and we'll whack a bit on there, I think. So as you can see, the Celica is up in the air, just on actual stands. So I power washed underneath the car about a week ago, so it's all pretty clean under there. Obligatory piece of cardboard to lay on. So what I'll do first is I'll just show you the worst areas of the rust. You can see just in there, around here. This is all flagged up on the MOT as well, actually. I did go over with some underseal and some paint on some of the rear cross member and things, but I'm going to go over the top with the Lanoguard, I think. Again here, along the sill, inside there. So hopefully this will keep the rust at bay, or at least stop it from getting any worse. So what I've got to do now is give this a good clean over with a wire brush, try and get some of the surface off. You can actually spray it over existing underseal as well. See that? God, that floor doesn't look very good there either, does it? Has he been prodding that with a screwdriver at the MOT station? I bet he has. Looks like it. So I'm going to give it all a good clear out with a wire brush. Like I said, you can spray it over existing underseal and coatings. You can also do it on exhaust. Been informed, and on rubbers and electrical components. So it's actually not too bad for a car of this age. It's what, 15 years old? A bit over there as well, under the brake and fuel lines. So I'll get under there and spray a bit. So I'll do is take a little B-roll of it before, and then we'll do a B-roll of it afterwards, and we'll see what it looks like. But, oh, pretty much needs a good going over. Interesting if you can actually put it on the exhaust. Says you can. It's stainless at the back, but this is all. It's actually not an old system, this. I think it's probably only about 5 years old from the front. But it does look like it's rusting quite badly. Let's just try it, shall we? So before in a previous video, it does smell of sheep in countryside. Just going to go liberally all over. A little does go a long way. You don't have to do any masking. No hiding rubbers and things, you just go straight over everything. So we shall see. I think it's a nice shiny finish. It does dull down, so you did it on the Nissan, and it has dulled down. I'll show you that in a little bit. Try a bit on the exhaust there, it might smell a bit, but we'll see. Okay, so I'll continue with this all over. So pretty much it's pretty straightforward, just squirt wherever, try and get into all the nooks and crannies. So I'm going to try and get into all the little sill bits here. Let's get on the camera lens. And in here. It's really so it's all going on pretty well. Looks nice and shiny. I'm just going over my trusty old underseal brush, just to catch any drips or anything, make sure I don't waste any, because a lot of it has actually gone on the floor. So I'm going to have a nice rust-free gravel driveway. It is actually cleaning the exhaust up quite nice as well. So while I'm under here, I'll give this a bit of a wipe. I'll polish back up. But yeah, it seems to be okay. It looks wet, shiny. Now I'm supposed to leave this for about 24 hours for it to seep under all the actual cracks and crevices and get into all the rust, etc., and eat into the actual rust. And then that forms like a hermetic barrier, I believe, just to stop the actual damp and oxygen get into the actual rust to make it get any worse. But tiny little bit left, that's all I've got left. So this rear, what would you say, rear quarter, from probably the half the sill back down on both sides, and this rear chassis member and the chassis legs and part of the actual floor has all been done with 1/2 litre. So definitely I'm going to have to invest in a bigger kit, I think. So I may go and order another kit, I think, probably in a couple of weeks when this is settled in, see what it looks like. But I've also should have taken the wheels off, because I've got it all inside the wheel rims as well, which was very stupid of me. So they're going to have to come off to be cleaned, but the car needs a wash anyway, so I'll do that. I did some on a little bit on the back of the exhaust, a little drip there, and you can see it, because it's just rusting on the back of that join there, just a little bit of rust. So I've sprayed a bit on there, so hopefully that'll hold that back. But we'll see about the smell as well if it burns off. But it said you can use it on exhaust, so we'll see. But yeah, I need a lot more really. I should have got the full kit, but it's worth trying first. So that was, like I said, 27 quid including postage for 1/2 litre, and I think it's something like 75 quid for their basic kit. So I think I'm probably going to get that. I think just invest in it. Just like a nice wet finish. It seems to be, I probably shouldn't be wiping it off or moving it about because it has to seep in, but it's not too bad. The Nissan was a lot worse than this when I renovated that. So eventually this will get a full resto and repaint, I think. back to the understand, you can see it's actually dried. Almost, it does feel like a candle wax. Still wet now, 'cause I just did that rubber about 10 minutes ago. But everywhere else seems like a sticky wax. So hopefully that'll dry even more. This has only been 24 hours or so. So that'll dry even more and stop the rust from coming back. But I'll probably put a bit more on that when I get the bigger kit as well. There's a little bit on the chassis leg just down there, where the axle stand touches the actual chassis leg. I'll probably put a bit on there. I may even get, you can get like an injection lance as well that goes on the end, so I might even just do that in the chassis legs. I've had wax oiled all this before. It was all stripped right back to bare metal underneath and redone. It's just to keep it at bay. Okay, so that's a pretty dirty job. I'll lean on the car. Need to clean anyway. It's a pretty dirty job, but I think it's going to, hopefully it's going to be worth it in the long run. It says now you have to leave it for at least 24 hours for it to set, and over a week it becomes almost like a candle wax sort of coating all over it. It never fully dries apparently, so it always does its job. That's, they say, that makes it water repellent, and it lasts about a year. But like I said earlier, I think I'm going to get the bigger kit. I'm going to do the entire underneath in here, get the Nissan out, get it in here, get it really high up, get as high as I can and get right underneath it and give it a good coating. I'll probably put some plastic sheeting down first because I don't want that oil and grease all over the garage floor, especially if I do any painting in here. It can be quite detrimental for paint, etc., for oil and things. So yeah, I think it's, hopefully, touch wood, it's going to be a decent little product. So I will do an update in probably a couple of weeks, see how it looks, and I think I will definitely invest in a bigger kit and get all that done as well. So coming up in the next video will probably be the service on the Celica. I've got to do that, I've got to do a full service on that. It's due, it's actually overdue, but it doesn't get used as much as it used to, so I'll probably just give it an oil flush and a change the plugs, just a basic service. So that'll be coming up in another video. So if you've liked this video, getting all sticky, try not to get lanolin on your nice clean car. It needs a clean anyway. I'll get outside and give it a wash when I finish the exhaust. So I hope you've liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.